moving to the music of Something Else, the Eddie Cochran song recorded by the Sex Pistols.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most noteworthy artists who weren't fond of Top of the Pops or their miming policy.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Look at there! Here she comes!
Number 10. The Stranglers. This band was formed in 1974 and quickly became associated with early punk rock by the media. In 1977, they were invited to come on and play their smash hit, No More Heroes. They appeared quite a few times in the decades following, so they couldn't have completely hated it. Still, in this performance, they're clearly dissatisfied with the show's miming policy. They hardly even put in the bare minimum effort needed to look like they were playing. It deteriorates as the performance goes on, with the drummer facing the opposite direction to his kit and the two guitarists jumping around wildly, throwing things off stage. Only the keyboard player is taking it seriously. Number 9. New Order.
I'm kicking off with New Order, playing live, singing live with Blue Monday.
In the early 80s, New Order pioneered the new wave sound. Their 1983 single, Blue Monday, became massively successful, earning them an invitation onto Top of the Pops. The group refused to mime, which turned into a bit of a catastrophe. It was a whole new genre, meaning no one was confident in performing live. There were a ton of mistakes, frustrating the band, who weren't entirely at fault for these technical issues. The drummer has since opened up about how much of a mess it was, saying the whole performance was ridiculous.
And I thought I told you to leave me while I walk down to the street.
Number 8. Rod Stewart and The Faces.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I've got something to say to you.
Another example of a group displeased at having to mime comes from 1971, when Rod Stewart and The Faces were invited to play Maggie May. The first red flag is John Peel, who isn't in the band, sitting on a chair playing a mandolin.
Check out John Peel on the mandolin.
Once the guitar solo comes in, Ronnie Wood is off stage and must zoom across the studio to fix his error. He runs off again, this time to retrieve a football. This distraction proves to be the final straw, and the whole band starts having a kickabout, no care in the world for the show they're performing. Number 7. Oasis.
My archive tip is Oasis, because they're mad for it. Is roll with it.
Few musicians can match the attitudes of Liam and Noel Gallagher, the two Oasis frontmen. If you know them, it's easy to guess that they despise miming their songs. This led to their hilarious Top of the Pops performance, where the brothers swapped places out of spite of the show's rule. It resulted in what could be considered either the greatest or the worst guitar solo in the series' history. The entire band burst into laughter, but even though he put in minimal effort, it sounded just like the studio version. It went down in history as one of the most scathing protests of the miming policy. Number 6. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Unfortunately, we don't have any clips of the time this funk group was invited onto the show in the 80s. That's because none exists, at least as far as we know. During rehearsals, the band flat out refused to mime seriously. According to bassist Flea, he was playing with his shoe, and guitarist John Frusciante sat on the singer's shoulders. Flea also described it as a wrestling match, which angered the showrunners so much they kicked them off, and they weren't allowed to play. This was the last time the group tried to mime on stage until a Super Bowl show in 2014. Number 5. Nirvana.
Having sold over 1 million records in 6 weeks, they're straight in at number 9. Here's Nirvana with Smells Like Teen Spirit.
In the early 90s, they were easily one of the biggest bands on earth. This meant their performance on the series would have been a massive deal, while the rebellious grunge band decided to sabotage it completely. It was entirely mimed, except for the vocals. The trio does an intentionally awful job pretending to play. The drummer's sticks are waving wildly in the air, while the bass player flails wildly on stage. Also, Kurt Cobain's vocals are uniquely terrible, as he was trying to copy Morrissey, and he even begins gobbling the microphone at one point. Number 4. Gang of Four. This post-punk group released their early single, At Home He's a Tourist, in 1979, which quickly rose up the charts. They were then invited onto Top of the Pops, but didn't end up making it on TV. The BBC decided the word rubbers would be too naughty to broadcast. So, they asked them to say rubbish instead, which the band didn't take too well. In protest, they walked off and refused to perform. The BBC decided to double down and ban the song completely. That wouldn't be their final controversy. A few years later, their track, I Love a Man in a Uniform, was banned on account of the Falklands War. I love a man in a uniform. I love a man in a uniform. Number 3. Sex Pistols. It's no surprise that the aggressively punk band single, God Save the Queen, was banned by the BBC. Unfortunately for the punk movement's opponents, the Sex Pistols were just too popular, earning them an invite to Top of the Pops. They played the track Pretty Vacant, which the Beeb hoped would be a safe track. Well, that was until Johnny Rotten started emphasising the last syllable of vacant, making it sound like a naughty word. This wasn't the last time they'd performed this song on the series. They did it again in '96 and were even allowed to play God Save the Queen in 2002. Number 2. Happy Mondays.
A band that's come all the way from Manchester. They're called Happy Monday, featuring a very special guest, Kirsty MacColl.
Few bands have feuded with the show as infamously as Happy Mondays did. They came on to perform Hallelujah in 1989, but ended up getting banned. It started when the group began chuckling after recording the performance. This upset the boss, who told them to cut it out. This, in turn, angered the group's frontman, Sean Ryder, who gave a heated response. Ryder's behaviour earned the band a lifetime ban, although in the following year, they blew up in popularity and the ban was rescinded. They then made a handful of subsequent performances over the years, proving the BBC had no say on their popularity. Number 1. The Clash. One of the most peculiar performances in the show's history was Bank Robber by The Clash. This is because they couldn't get them on, so instead they had their in-house dance troupe perform. The resulting show was incredibly surreal. The group was so opposed to the miming policy, they flat out refused to appear. A bunch of their songs were still featured, but they mainly just played music videos, except for this one odd incident in 1980. It wasn't the only example of this. They also had them dance to the Sex Pistols, an equally challenging band to jive to.
What you gonna say? What you gonna do?
Were there any musicians we forgot to include? Let us know in the comments below.